that because you're not pressed to have a savior come in year one and start. And this is also, I mean, while we're not in the most ideal position at pick 19 to get your quarterback of the future, which we desperately need, at some point. But having a guy like Ryan Fitzpatrick gives you that incentive to, if you wanted to go up and trade for Trey Lance, you can do that. Or maybe you find a day two prospect that you can groom behind a Ryan Fitzpatrick and you can see what he has if you like him enough.
Ooh, this is crazy because I looked at Trey Lance last night. I watched 3 games for Trey Lance. Um, and when you're talking about Lance as a project, I completely agree. Well, actually, let me ask you this before I even continue. When you say sit at least for a year, and obviously Fitzpatrick being around is you have that luxury, the opportunity to do so. Um, my question would be, and this is stemming from my concerns from watching him. What is there out there to guarantee that you sitting him is going to help his development? Um, and the reason why I ask that is because in the 3 games that I watched, again, this isn't all his film for everybody that's listening and watching. This isn't all his film. It's only 3 games. But he struggled in certain aspects of the field, like intermediate to downfield. He struggled as a passer. His legs, he's a natural runner. Great vision, and he's powerful for his frame. 6'4", I think like 225. I loved every second of a person like him running the football. Like, I'm never going to be the guy who tells a quarterback, bro, protect yourself if they know what they're doing as a runner. Like, if you're out there and you're looking like Lamar Jackson, you have that capability, you look like Cam Newton, there's no reason for anyone to tell me or to tell you to protect yourself. You are a natural runner. Trey Lance has it. I completely love that aspect of his game. He will make plays for you on the ground. But when you need him to pass the ball and you don't want to have a Lamar Jackson situation where you need somebody to make plays for you in the air, but he's really limited to you, limited for you. And I think what Lamar is in year 3, going on year 4. Like, what is to say when you think down the line? Is this going to be an investment that you can say comfortably, all right, we're going to sit him for a year, no questions asked, but we'll revisit this. I mean, obviously, you'll be working with him along the way, but we'll revisit this next year. Like, how certain are we that it's not going to necessarily, like, what do you get what I'm saying? Like, where is it? It may be a potential issue down the line as well.
Well, yeah, that's the issue. Well, in modern day NFL, is that everyone wants the now. You want to see what you got. I mean, Arizona kind of started the trend with getting rid of Josh Rosen after a year of having him. And then you just seen this past year with Ryan Fitzpatrick, where he's leading a hot Miami Dolphins team. And they sit him in the middle of a hot streak to put the rookie Tua in to see what they had in him. So it's always that when you want to know what you have in a guy. But with a guy like Trey Lance, of course, my thing is, as you stated with Trey Lance, he has tools. He has physical tools that you can't teach. I mean, he has size, he has strength, he has a rocket arm, so you can work with that. But for me, I would love a guy like that to not be given anything off the break because you want them to work for it. I mean, kind of like with Dwayne Haskins, which you would have wanted with him, but the team was just so bad that year they had no choice but to play him. But for Trey Lance, he's learning he's actually in a more stable environment here. This wouldn't be a Jay Gruden lame duck type of situation. He's coming into a stable coaching environment, and obviously, if they were to move up to get a Trey Lance, that means everyone is on board to get Trey Lance in this organization. It's not a situation where your owner is coming down and saying, "Oh, I just want this guy." This means Ron, Marty, and Martin and Scott Turner, all 4 of those guys are a cohesion on the pick. So that means you're going to groom him properly. You're going to make sure this kid gets the proper NFL development. You're not worried about your job security or anything. And I think that's important for a guy like Trey Lance, who has the physical tools, but he has limited experience in college football. And not only that, he didn't play at a high level at college football. He played at the second level in college football. So you want him to learn how to be a pro. You want him to learn how to read NFL defenses. You want him to kind of look at a Ryan Fitzpatrick and say, that's the way I need to model myself up after a pro. And of course, he's going to, like I said, get the coaching from the Ken Zampese, Scott Turner, those type of guys. And like I said, everyone will have an incentive to make sure this guy is being brought along to be your next franchise QB, because everyone's job will kind of be tied to this selection and this pick.
100% agree. I think, well, I agree with the last statement where you mentioned everybody's going to be tied to this pick, and I think that's the most important aspect of this situation is, if you're going to make a move for any quarterback, not even just Trey Lance, if you're going to make a move for any quarterback, know that that is your first official future play. Like, obviously, we understand that with Fitzpatrick's age, regardless if he's here in 2022 as well, he's still just a placeholder. Regardless of what it is, he's going to be that placeholder. But whatever move you make in the draft, whether it's this year, whether it's next year, that is going to be your pick. That's going to be your future. That's exactly who it is that you're going to be investing in long term, because you're hoping it works out. Now, when it comes to Lance in particular, because that's who Lombardi spoke on, I would be willing to trade up for him, right? I just don't know how high I would go. I don't see myself going any higher than 13. And I say that because I believe the Eagles have the 12th pick. They're not going to trade up with. They're not going to agree to a trade with us. So I wouldn't see myself going any higher than 13. If you can, who is the Giants? What, I think it's like a succession, right? It's like the Eagles,
Giants, Cowboys, and Eagles all kind of picking
in the same.
I don't know if this is the exact order, but yeah, I know they pick all similar. Yeah,
so it's gonna be hard to finagle that block of picks. So it's like you really have to either trade up into like the top 8, or you have to try and make a move if they slip past 10. I would say, like, that's just off the top of my head, like 10 in that range. I don't see myself trading for Trey Lance out if he's not. Trey Lance, Mac Jones, or Justin Fields. Like, if they're not within that 13 to 15 range, because New England, I think, picks 15 as well, I don't see myself trading up for any of these guys, man. I got to see how it plays out at that point. I'm not gonna lie to you. I can't trade up to the top 10. I can't trade up top 8. It's just too dangerous for certain prospects, and that's the few that I mentioned. It's just hard to trust. Now, I'm not. That's my personal opinion. If they want to do it, it's not my picks. It's not my money. Fuck it. Go ahead. Have fun. But a person who's invested in the team from an emotional standpoint, who's also mentally beat down from all these times, all these years. But if a person who's mentally invested and emotionally invested into this team, I personally wouldn't do it. I just can't say myself inside top 10.
I agree. Like, if you ask in my personal opinion, I would prefer not to move up for anyone outside of Lawrence and Zach Wilson. But like I said, I mean, if the team was to do it, that would mean everyone was in cohesion on it. But like I said, personally, no. But I wouldn't be surprised if they actually moved up for a non-QB. How would you feel about that? Like, moving up for a position player, not QB,